It's an absolute monster of a lightweight.
What a moment! The history-making goal!
She wasn't going for goal, but she'll happily accept it.
It's gone all the way through, and look at this! Chewinga! Did you dare write Barcelona off?
The career of one of the all-time greats is all but over.
Nice comeback.
Uma oportunidade de dizer alguma coisa que eu acho que nunca disse.
Let's get this party started!
NFL Game Pass is now exclusively on DAZN.
Let's get this thing going.
Watch every game, plus the playoffs and Super Bowl. It's your all-access pass.
That's how you fight a southpaw. Well on his way to coming back.
Katie Taylor does it again. Look at the emotion.
Boxing on DAZN, sponsored by William Hill.
Hello, darlings. Aunt Helga. Futuristic scooters, old school website. Relax, web upgrades, I own them. Better design, e-commerce, and smart AI. Now you're fit for the future. I scoot off now. Your digital partner, Ionos.
She's got that McDonald's double points feeling. Yep, him too. And then get double points on the improved Big Mac, quarter pounder, and double cheeseburger. Unlock in app today.
Ready? Steady! Go!
He took my childhood. If you find him, he's mine.
Furiosa, a Mad Max saga.
There is no hope!
In cinemas May 24.
Boxing on DAZN, sponsored by William Hill.
All right, people, here we go. We are here, day 4 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Maybe the most important day, because today we make it official. The fighters are going to step on the scales. Fingers crossed, no issues. They all make weight. They're going to come out here, and here we go. You know what? I might as well step on the scales as well. Let's see. That's impossible. 250 pounds. Maybe not. All right, let's do this. Weigh-in day.
A tale as old as time.
A legendary champion in search of another champion has found his match. Both men undefeated. Both men larger than life itself, facing each other under the watchful eye of history. Until there can be only one.
Let's get ready to rumble at Rio DAZN.
It is time to fight.
All right, here we go. Excitement levels right now at 1,000, at 1,000,000. Boulevard City looking lit up and beautiful as it's always been throughout fight night. We are here, the crowd is here, the Brits have traveled as well. This is day 4. This is weigh-in day, the most important day here at the Depot. Barry Jones, Darren Barker, Sweet Caroline being played in the background. I mean, come on, this is as good as it can be right now.
It's like in Manchester or Belfast, isn't it? Look at the Brits, they've travelled. I can't believe it. To Riyadh of all places, unbelievable.
So good. How do you top this? I'll tell you how you top this. You give them the best fight, or one of the biggest fights the world has seen in the last God knows how many years. That's how you top it. This is incredible. This is remarkable.
Yeah, there was always a question, Barry, about will the Brits travel? That was always the question, right? The Brits have traveled to Vegas. Obviously, we know what they do when in England, right? Manchester, London, Liverpool. Would they travel to Saudi Arabia? As you can see on those pictures, ladies and gentlemen, they have traveled in force.
To be honest, though, if you're a real boxing fan, this fight, where wouldn't you go to watch? If you could afford it, where wouldn't you go to watch it?
Yeah.
There's not many places they could find that I would go.
History.
Yeah.
It's history. This means so much to so many people. And the two guys in the main event, they've got the opportunity to mark their place in boxing history forever.
Yeah, guys, I'm going to ask you this at the end of the night. You know what I'm going to ask you? I'm going to ask you right now at the start of the night. You're both Fury. You've had a sleep. You've had some breakfast. You've had some dinner. Are you still Fury?
I am, but it's slimming ever so slightly.
Switch a bit.
I mean, but I am still Fury. But yeah, ask me again at the end.
Baz?
It's a very, very close fight to call, I feel, but I still always, I stick to my guns. I'm Fury all the way.
Yeah, I mean, this is exceptional, isn't it? Look, I said at the start, me and you've done all of these together. We've done the last 3, and it has been that crescendo effect. And it was always, I always felt like Riyadh season for boxing was all about this, the undisputed heavyweight title fight. And we've got here and we've built and built and built, and it's got better and better and better. And here we are, moments away from Usyk and Fury getting on the scales.
See, ultimately, it was just important that the fight happened. That's the first. At the end of the day, it's all about the finished product. But the packaging, especially in this times, is massively important. And as you keep saying, they've done it great. And you go, they can't top that, and then they top it again. And it's just, where did the ideas come from? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I thought Fury and Ngannou, in terms of a spectacle, was insane. I've been told tomorrow's going to blow your minds. Tomorrow's going to blow your minds. Darren, you must be excited about tomorrow.
Oh, I cannot wait. I mean,
I'm not even talking about the fight. I'm just talking about the entrance.
Magnitude of the fight is huge, but like you said, it's kind of just worked out perfectly. It's just built and built and built, and now we've got to this great occasion, the big fight in a long, long time. It's magical.
All right, enough from us for now. Let's get the fighters on the scales. Let's throw it to your MC to get the show on the road, Mr. Thomas Schreiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the official weigh-in for Ring of Fire, a great night of World Championship Boxing tomorrow, live from Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It is being brought to you by Frank Warren, on behalf of Queensberry Promotions, and Bob Arum for Top Rank Incorporated, in conjunction with Riyadh Season, National Event Center, the General Entertainment Authority, GIA, Gold Star Promotions, K2 Promotions, and Sella. This great event will be shown worldwide on DAZN pay-per-view, in the United States on ESPN+ pay-per-view, and in the UK on Sky Sports Box Office, TNT Sports Box Office, and DAZN. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to extend a big thank you to the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud, His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and His Excellency, Chairman of the General Entertainment Authority, GIA, Turkey Al-Sheikh. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has arrived for the weigh-in process to begin. Boxing fans joining us around the world, and boxing fans joining us here in beautiful Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Let's hear it out there. Our first two fighters to the scale, competing tomorrow in a scheduled 10-round international featherweight contest. Let's first welcome a native of Afghanistan, now fighting out of Dubai, United Arab Emirates. He brings a professional record consisting of 16 wins, just 1 defeat, 5 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is Hasibullah Ahmadi. Coming to us from Morecambe, England, he brings a professional record consisting of 24 wins, 2 defeats, 3 draws, 8 wins, coming by way of knockout. Let's welcome Isaac, the Westgate Warrior, Lowe. 127.7 for Hasibullah Ahmadi. $125.5 for Isaac, Westgate Warrior, Lowe.
Hasibullah Ahmadi, 127.7. Barry Jones to my left is correct. Look, it's not a title fight, but still, that's 1.7 pounds overweight. I mean, it's coming over, that's a lot, whereas Isaac Lowe's coming under.
Yes, well, I was looking to make that championship weight just to prove that he is a featherweight and he can compete at that, and the other guy just trying to get that little bit of advantage, because naturally you can see here he's a much smaller man there.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, these two competing tomorrow night in a scheduled 10-round international featherweight contest.
That was always going to happen, Darren. I mean, there was nose to nose, head to head. Someone was going to push someone, and I kind of expected it.
Yeah, and it's an intriguing fight, this. It's like a couple on the card that are potential banana skins. Isaac Lowe needs to win this to push on if he wants to crack at a world title. Ahmadi, we don't really know too much about him. He's a good fighter from what I've seen, but he's stepping up in levels here.
Yeah, look, I mean, look, we always know it is difficult to make the weight. So I wonder, I mean, look, they probably said, look, agreed at 128 or something, but I just wonder whether or not he struggled to make the weight and they just wanted to keep the fight on.
Yeah, that could be a possibility, of course, but I think a lot of this fight boils down to how much Isaac Lowe has left, I think. I think that'll be the telling point. He needs to put on a really good, dominant performance tomorrow night.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next two combatants to the scale, competing tomorrow night in a scheduled 10-round contest. It will be for the vacant WBA Intercontinental Light Heavyweight Championship. Let's first welcome to the scale, coming to us from Porto, Portugal. He brings a professional record of 9 wins, just 1 defeat. 4 of his 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is Octavio Tank Hudiviter. Let's welcome a native of Poland, now fighting out of Kyiv, Ukraine, undefeated with 9 wins, 3 of his 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Let's welcome Daniel Lepin. $173.7 for Octavio Tank Hudiviter. $174.7 for Daniel Lepin.
Both Daniel Lepin and Hudiviter both make the weight. And this is where you can see the difference. One's obviously built like a tank, that's his nickname. Daniel Lepin, though, at least, I'm going to guess, 4.5 inches taller than Hudiviter.
Yeah. And he's a very good fighter. He's awkward. He's so quick on his feet, Addy. He really is. He's got the physique, a frame of like a high jumper. Honestly.
Yes, that's it.
Exactly what I was saying. Brilliant.
But yeah, it's a good fight, but Victor needs to get close, needs to try and rough up Lepin. He brings it, he leaves it all in the ring, so it could be interesting.
Yeah, when you're a tall fight, you've got all the advantages, but if the guy can get in close and slow underneath your long jab, then he has a chance.
It certainly does. By the way, yesterday, obviously, we saw Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis here. Another great heavyweight champion has just walked in. The great Larry Holmes, arguably top 4, top 5 heavyweight of all time, is in the building.
One of, if not the best jab in heavyweight history.
Agreed.
Absolutely fantastic. A whipping shot with loads of power on it. It was fantastic.
Our next 2 combatants to the scale competing tomorrow night in a 10-round contest. It will be for the vacant IBF International Cruiserweight Championship. Let's first welcome from Frankfurt, Germany, undefeated with 12 wins, 10 of his 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is Michael Sides.
That don't kill me, can only make me stronger. I need you to hurry up now, cause I can't wait much longer. I know I got to be right now, cause I can't get much stronger. Man, I've been waiting all night now. That's how long I've been on ya.
And now let's welcome a native of Hamilton, New Zealand, now fighting out of Gatton, Queensland, Australia. He was a 2020 Olympic bronze medalist, now undefeated as a professional with 8 wins, 7 of his 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome David, the nice guy, Nico. $198.5 for Michael Sides. 198.1 for David, the nice guy, Nika.
Both guys nearly identical in weight. Both of these guys unbeaten. You know the old saying, Darren, someone's always got to go. I actually think this is going to be a competitive fight for a few rounds.
Yeah, look, Seitz has 10 knockouts in his 12 fights, but that power has no value if you can't land it. So it's how does he get close to Nika, who's so good on his feet, so well schooled.
And also, you know, he's hittable, Seitz. That's what I would say. And with Nika having such good reach of distance, and he punches on the move as well, it's going to be very difficult to stay out the way. We're expecting big things from this kid, but he needs to perform on Saturday night.
I'm probably going to be saying this all night about who's in attendance. To add to the Larry Holmes thing I just said a couple of minutes ago, one of the long reigning heavyweight champions in the building, Vladimir Klitschko, is here as well. I'm here to support his fellow Ukrainian, Oleksandr Usyk.
Our next two combatants to the scale competing tomorrow in a scheduled 10-round contest. It will be for the vacant WBO Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. First, we welcome from Hamburg, Germany. He brings a professional record of 25 wins, 3 defeats, with 20 of his 25 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is Ilya Mazenshev. And now let's welcome from Chatham, Kent, England. He had a stellar amateur career, and now at the age of just 19, he is undefeated with 8 wins, 6 of his 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is Moses Itelma. .1 for Ilya Mazenshev. .39.1 for Moses Itelma.
That's a good weight for Moses Itelma. Look, there's so many prospects on this card. We just saw David Niyikel. We're going to see Robin Sufar, who takes on Sergei Kovalev tomorrow in a cruiserweight contest a bit later. But he might be the best prospect on the card. He's the one that everyone has a lot of hope with anyway, Darren.
Yeah, I mean, future star of the division, no doubt. But this is a step up. This is a real step up on paper. Mazenshev, 23 wins, 21 knockouts. But how did he get that power into play?
Yeah, Mazenshev looks a good boxer. He boxing, he throws a good jab, but he brings it back to his chest, and I think that's where the problems are going to lie with someone who talented and athletic as Itelma.
I've been one of those that have questioned Itelma's size, but then when you see him get on the scales and hit basically 240 pounds, you're like, okay, maybe I've questioned it wrong.
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
He is a big boy, and he's so quick with it, so elusive, so nimble, but generates so much power through that speed. Talent, ridiculous talent,
and
in
he's
abundance.
smooth, isn't he, with his work? It's like no effort when he's throwing punches or moving around the ring, and that's a real talent.
Our next two combatants to the scale, competing tomorrow night in a scheduled 12-round contest. It will be for the vacant WBC Silver Lightweight Championship. let's first welcome a native of Nigeria, now fighting out of Accra, Ghana. He has a professional record of 23 wins, just 1 defeat, 16 of his 23 wins coming by way of knockout. Let's welcome the current WBO Africa Super Featherweight Champion, Joshua, the Wealth Machine, Wahab. And now let's welcome from Portsmouth, England, undefeated with 15 wins, 11 of his 15 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the undefeated former WBA Intercontinental Lightweight Champion, Mark Chamberlain. 132.1 for Joshua, the Wealth Machine, Wahab. $134.2 for Mark Chamberlain.
Yeah, look, Mark Chamberlain, fantastic last time out against Gavin Gwynn. Surprised a lot of people. Certainly surprised Barry Jones. Maybe thought that was going to be a lot of a tougher test. On paper, it looked like that, but Mark steamed him.
Yeah, it should have been a tougher test because Gavin Gwynn's as tough as they come. But yeah, what impressed me with Chamberlain is his judgment of distance is fantastic. He can punch hard and clean wherever he is, whether he's a long fighter, whether you're close or far away, he gets the maximum power on his shots. Well, in Wahibo, he has a guy, Darren, who's good lateral movement and a decent left hook.
Yeah, Wahab, he brings it every single time he fights. He leaves everything in the ring. But this is a very, very important fight for Mark Chamberlain. Ranked number 10 already in the WBC. This WBC silver belt is going to fly him up those rankings. That means he's quite close to potentially an eliminator or a world title fight.
So many superstars here today. It just feels like everyone is excited about what is going to come tomorrow night. Again, we've waited 25 years. I say we've waited 25 years. We've had good heavyweight fights in between that, but not an undisputed one. But so many big heavyweight stars here now.
Yeah, and it's that word history again. This is something special because of the history that this main event tomorrow night is going to create. First ever in the four-belt era, first in 25 years. So there's all of those numbers, but that word history is making this so important.
And I guess it's even better when you think about it. It's an undisputed between two unbeaten heavyweights, which wasn't the case with Evander and Lennox 25 years ago.
Yeah, of course, you know, and guys who are not over the hill. There hasn't been a massive show of a decay in any ability. So I think it's important it happens now. And to get this to happen, people don't understand how unique it is. The 12-round era since 1987, there's been maybe 9 to 12 unification matches. They're not like undisputed. So let's really be happy with having this. It's unbelievable. I didn't think we'd get to see it, but here we are.
And I think the beauty of it as well, Darren, Evander Holyfield there, the beauty of it as well, Darren, is that These are two heavyweights that I think, if we're honest, could compete in any era.
Yeah.
These are two of the best. I think if you chuck back to the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, where everyone was big, they could compete.
Yeah, because they have everything. They have skill and abundance. They have power. They're unorthodox in some ways, but the footwork from both is brilliant. The size of Fury is incredible. Yeah, this is really intriguing, this battle between these two.
Here we are. I've been saying some of the best heavyweights on planet Earth are here, and this man was definitely one of the most dominant heavyweights we've had in the history of the sport. Vladimir Klitschko is here, no doubt supporting your fellow Ukrainian Oleksandr Usyk.
Ukraine is going to be on the map, and the world is going to look into Riyadh here in Saudi Arabia. It is a very important match, not just in the heavyweight division. We're going to figure out who, and obviously it's clear that Ukraine is going to be undisputed champion of the world, heavyweight champion of the world, but also is going to put Ukraine on the map. And what is going on in Ukraine, the war that Putin's Russia has started in Ukraine, it will definitely give a bit of positivity for the Ukrainians that are going to watch and obviously keep their fingers crossed for Oleksandr Usyk on Saturday night.
Vladimir, your fellow countryman Usyk is the smaller out of the two. When you was boxing, you would have been the tallest most of the time that you boxed. How does Usyk get through those disadvantages that he has?
I would say in boxing, in the heavy division, in boxing in general, size is matter. We know that the difference between two of the opponents is great, is big. And we do know that Fury is taller, having longer reach, but there is no other way how to fight a strong fighter like AJ, as Usyk has showed it twice, and how with the technique you can achieve whatever you want. It's not about the power or the size, but about technique in boxing. And I believe that Oleksandr Usyk is probably one of the best technicians in the modern boxing. And I'm sure he's going to do his job tomorrow night.
Have you had a chance to speak to Oleksandr Usyk before this contest? And if so, any nuggets of advice have you given him?
I'm maybe going to share an anecdote. Oleksandr called me recently for my birthday, and he said, listen, I wish that your dream will come true and you were going to become the oldest heavyweight champion of the world. I said, wait a minute. Just don't make me get out of my retirement, Oleksandr. What are you doing? So thank you for the wishes, but you must win next fight.
Yeah. Vladimir, you fought Tyson Fury. You know how difficult that style can be to navigate. Just what problems do you think Tyson Fury is going to pose to Oleksandr Usyk?
Well, I would say that in some sort of way, Tyson Fury is unpredictable. We don't know what kind of mental shape. We understand the physical shape, but what kind of mental shape he's going to be, and that's what we're going to see tomorrow night, because there's always something different, and you cannot really count precisely in what kind of shape he's going to be for this match.
Vladimir, we thank you so much for coming to speak to us. Thank you. Go and take your seat amongst the greats as well and enjoy the show, Vlad. Thank you. And there are one of the greats, Larry Holmes. I mean, just a privilege to speak to some of these heavyweights, isn't it?
I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit starstruck then. I mean, you're talking about a legend, a champion that reigned for over a decade. You know, that was a man who holds himself so well. You know, a role model to younger kids. This is crazy.
It is crazy. He shook my hand and it still hurts. It still hurts, it really does. That's why I didn't want to do a fist pump with him, because that would hurt as well. Anyway, let's continue with the weigh-in. Let's throw it back downstairs to Thomas Triber.
Ladies and gentlemen, we continue with the weigh-in process. Our next two combatants competing tomorrow night in a scheduled 10-round international cruiserweight contest. Let's first welcome to the scale a native of Sweden, now fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. He is undefeated with 16 wins. 12 of his 16 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Robin Safar. And now let's welcome a native of Russia, now fighting out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, USA. He has a professional record consisting of 35 wins, 4 defeats, 1 draw, with 29 big wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the former unified light heavyweight champion of the world, Sergey the Crusher Kovalev. $194.1 for Robin Safar. $194.2 for the former world champion Sergey the Crusher Kovalev.
In the last 10 years in boxing, there's been 2 guys that I would consider the boogeymen of boxing. One was Gennady Golovkin, the other one was certainly Mr. Sergey Kovalev. But boxing always has that history of boxers staying around for too long. And I just wonder if Kovalev is one of those fighters. I hope he isn't, but at 41, moving up in weight, Barry, he could just be that.
Yeah, he could. He's coming off a good win, but it's a long time ago. Inactivity, you know, we got 2 fights in 2019, so that's a problem. But what he always had, and still will have, is a really good jab. And Safar, even though I think he's looked pretty good to me, and his hands are high, they're a loose guard, and I think Kovalev might be able to get through that, Darren.
I think Safar wins. And I'm a little bit worried because Kovalev's in our hotel, so if he watches this and knows I've said this, but there is something in Safar. I like him, like you said, Barry. He's nice, elusive, he moves, he's got a nice jab himself. Not as good as Kovalev, but there's something in him. I think he could be a very good fighter.
He needs to make Kovalev work at a high pace. I think that's a very important point. But we forget Kovalev can box, and people forget that. So I still got to make him a favourite.
Yeah, it should be an intriguing fight this. The unbeaten Safar. What an opportunity for him to get the name of Sergey Kovalev on his resume in the win column. Massive.
Our next 2 combatants to the scale competing tomorrow in a scheduled 12-round contest. It is a final eliminator for the WBC Heavyweight World Championship. Let's first welcome, coming to us from Bochum, Germany, undefeated with 24 wins, 16 of his 24 wins come by way of knockout. Here is the former 2-time European champion, the current WBA Intercontinental and NABF heavyweight champion, and currently ranked number 3 in the world by the WBC, Agit Kabayel. And now let's welcome a native of Cuba, Now fighting out of Miami, Florida, USA. He is undefeated with 24 wins. 17 of his 24 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the current WBC Continental Americas and NABO heavyweight champion and currently ranked number 2 in the world by the WBC, Frank the Cuban Flash Sanchez. .5 for Agit Kabayel. .238.5 for Frank the Cuban Flash Sanchez.
An intriguing battle in the heavyweight division between two unbeaten fighters, both of them desperate for a crack at the real big guns in the heavyweight division. And I think, Darren, the winner of this has to get that big fight next. They just have to.
I think so, yeah. It's a tough one to call. I'm leaning towards Sanchez here, but I went against Kabayel last time. I thought Makhmudov would win, and he ripped up that script and proved me wrong. I think the winner of this fight needs to grab hold of the pace, needs to be in charge of the tempo of this fight. Sanchez can be lazy at times, and I think Kabayel, typically German, very economical, walks forward, high guard, can move as well. So I think the winner of this needs to grab hold of the tempo, be in charge of the pace of this fight.
I agree with that, and I would say Kabayel, who showed a real tactical awareness, I think, against Makhmudov, needs to be busy, in and out with the movement, and because Sanchez has that Cuban timing, fantastic. He can hit you, he'll lean back and hit you with a hook over the top, and he does have heavy hands, so I favour Sanchez quite big. I think it'd be a difficult fight for him. I think he finds the punch to finish it.
I've been fortunate enough to be in the gym same time as Sanchez a couple of days this week, and just to watch him work out, it is frightening what he can do. But when you consider this guy is 6'4", 6'5", 240 pounds, and his agility is incredible.
Yes, it is incredible. And some of the Cubans that do make their way to America, they lose a bit of discipline, and you can see in their body, in their shape. You look at Sanchez on the scale there, looks unbelievable.
He just needs to be a little bit busier, and he's going to be far more effective. And then, because if he's going to fight for world honours, if he's going to come against Fury or Usyk, he's going to have to be busier, be more assertive in his work, because he has all the talent there. Just as long as the work ethic matches that talent.
Yeah, I was listening to you on commentary, Darren, when he fought Junior Farr, Frank Sanchez, last time out, and you, for the first round or so, were kind of upset with his pace.
Look, do you know what it is, Addy? I know he can do it. It's not like I don't think he can do it. I know he can do it. He's got talent in abundance. His footwork, his hand speed, the way he puts the shot together, it's there. So that's the only reason I get frustrated. But that does show also on the flip side that he's got ring craft, he's got ring IQ, that he didn't rush anything, he took his time, and ultimately he looked very good in getting the finish.
Yeah, look, it's going to be a good fight. There are so many. Evander Holyfield, keep him on the screen. Keep him on the screen. The real deal Evander Holyfield, who fought some of the best heavyweights that we've ever seen. But look, it's going to be an intriguing fight. Two heavyweights that, again, are desperate to climb that ladder, desperate to be main eventers. And it's a difficult fight to pick. It's a pick 'em fight.
It is. Like I say, both. I mean, everything's almost identical there. Same age, same weight, same record. Sanchez has one knockout more, but what they do both have again is the chance to be one of the next stars of this division, because you know the big guns are kind of coming to the end of their careers. So we're looking for the new crop now, the next generation.
All right, let's continue with the weigh-ins. Let's go back downstairs to Thomas Schreiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next two combatants to the scale, competing tomorrow night in a scheduled 12-round contest. It will be for both the IBF and IBO Super Featherweight Championships of the World. Let's first welcome from Belfast, Northern Ireland. He brings a professional record of 21 wins, just 1 defeat, 7 wins. Coming by way of knockout, here is the reigning and defending IBO Super Featherweight Champion of the World, Anthony, the Andy Town Apache Kakachi. And now let's welcome from Cardiff, Wales. He was a 2016 Olympian, now undefeated as a professional with 17 wins, 9 of his 17 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the 2-time reigning and defending IBF Super Featherweight Champion of the World, the Welsh Wizard, Joe Cordino. 129 pounds, 13 ounces for Anthony, the Andy Town Apache Kakachi. £130 even for the Welsh Wizard, Joe Cordino.
I'll be honest with you, I was a bit nervous seeing both in and around Fighter Hotel week would both make weight. They both have made weight. Well, it's never easy to be a super feather, but we have a fight. We have 2 titles on the line. Barry, I think this is going to be a really good fight.
It's going to be a fantastic fight because I think Kakachi's going to come out fast. You know, thinking Cordino might have struggled for the weight. I'm not sure if he has this time. And also, this is Kakachi's moment. So it's such a long time to get this opportunity. He's not going to go away without trying 110%. But in Cordino, Darren, as you know him better than most, we have a supreme talent.
Yeah, massive. I mean, a very, very good talent. And I feel he feels he's got something to prove after his last contest in Monte Carlo against Edward Vazquez. Underperformed, took it lightly, overlooked Vazquez, but now he wants to right that wrong, and get a very good, decisive victory.
All right, we're going to hear from both fighters. Let's start with the challenger first, the current IBO Super Featherweight champion, Anthony Kakachi. He's with Todd Grisham on stage.
All right, I'm here with Anthony. You're fighting for a world title on the grandest stage of them all. How have you managed to stay grounded this week?
Listen, here, I'm just very excited to be here and just doing my usual thing, mate. I'm used to this type of thing, so I'm buzzing. I'm just buzzing to be here.
I'm sure you know your opponent very well. What specifically do you have to do to win this fight?
Listen, I'm just here to fight. I know he's a very good operator. He's slick, he's very fast, but I'm here to do the damage.
Hey, we've also got Wales versus Northern Ireland. What's your message to your fans back home right now?
Big shout out Belfast, everyone home in Belfast, Andy Town. Appreciate you all.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Joe, you've had a long time to prepare for this fight. You're looking in great shape. You look like you made weight comfortably. Is it right to say more comfortably than your previous world title fights?
Yeah, obviously. I've had 2 camps back to back, so it's been a long time coming. I'm just glad I'm here now. I came out 3 weeks ago, more prepared than I've ever been for a fight. So yeah, I'm looking good, looking forward to it, and I can't wait to get in there.
Now you own the longest running unbeaten record by a current professional fighter from Wales. You'll be looking to extend that record. Just try and sum up what that means, getting the win and defending your belt.
Yeah, of course. I'm just trying to do me, keep winning, keep moving forward, and keep carrying the flag of Wales on my back. So yeah, as long as I keep winning, everyone follow behind.
One day out from the fight, any final message for Anthony Cacace and all the fans who are behind you?
He knows what's coming. Like he said, he's going to bring it. I'm going to bring it. We meet in the middle of the ring and we'll deal with it.
Final message to the fans?
Thank you very much, and just keep supporting and just keep an eye out because it's going to be electric.
Best of luck, Joe.
Thank you.
He's right, it will be electric. It's going to be a good atmosphere in the building as well. This is, if you like, this is almost the prelims for Queensbury versus Matchroom as well. Obviously, Queensbury, Cacace, and Cordina Matchroom. Should be interesting.
Yeah, it is a little taster for what we've got in a couple of weeks' time. I really like the fight. Cacace, this is his last opportunity, if you like, to win a real major world title. Joe Cordina wants to right the wrong of the Edward Vasquez. Though he got the win, he feels like he underperformed. So I think you put everything in the pot there, it makes for a brilliant fight.
I think Joe boxes better with a chip on his shoulder. You've seen in the Rakhimov fight there when he had... Oh, sorry.
Sorry, stop
now.
Yeah,
I am.
Yeah, when Duran walks in, Roberto Duran, everything has to be on pause. I mean, we've got some great... We're going to have to do a top 5 sort of rankings of the fighters here.
He's in my favourite fight of all time, even though he beat my hero, Sugar Ray Leonard. Montreal. It was just an absolute beautiful fight.
I will say this, Roberto Duran, #1. I don't know who's going to come and top that. Roberto Duran, the best fighter here so far. Incredible fight. And it's good to see him in good health as well. He had a health scare a few months ago. You can see him walking, laughing, joking. It's good to see the great man in good spirits.
Yeah, enjoying himself, taking it all in. I bet he wish he was able to fight this evening.
Probably still can fight. All right, let's go back down to Thomas Streiber to continue the weigh-ins.
Our next 2 combatants to the scale, competing tomorrow in a scheduled 12-round contest. It will be for the vacant IBF Cruiserweight Championship of the World. Let's first welcome, coming to us from Riga, Latvia. He has a professional record of 28 wins, 2 defeats, 20 of his 28 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the former 3-time Cruiserweight World Champion, Mairis Briedis.
Lightning from the sky, it runs inside our veins. Full speed till we fly, that's the only way.
And now let's welcome from Sydney, Australia, a 2012 Olympian, now undefeated as a professional with 24 wins, 19 of his 24 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the current Ring Magazine champion and the undefeated former IBF Cruiserweight World Champion, Jai Opetaia.
First things first, rest in peace, sucker fan.
199.1 for Mairis Briedis. $198.1 for Jai Opetaia.
Jai Opetaia versus Mairis Briedis, a rematch of the fight they had 2 years ago. Mairis Briedis breaking Jai Opetaia's jaw in 2 places. Jai Opetaia, though, still becoming the IBF Cruiserweight champion that night. I expect this one. I know a lot of people are sleeping on Briedis. I expect this to be a very, very good fight.
Yeah, it is a good fight. The first fight was interesting. That break on the jaw, both sides was nasty. But I really believe Opetaia is going to do unbelievable things in this sport. I think he's going to step up to bridgeweight, step up to heavyweight, One day in about 20, 30 years, we're going to see him walk past, like we've seen Duran, Holyfield, Lewis, and we're going to say, wow, what a fighter Opetaya was.
If it's anywhere as good as in the first fight, we're in for a treat. And I do think, I agree with that, I do think Opetaya now might just have enough to maybe, and I feel disrespectful for saying this, stop Marius Briedis.
Well, that's a big statement if he does. Marius Briedis, by the way, has worn those glasses throughout fight week. I'm intrigued as to ask, hopefully Todd Grisham asks why, but Marius Briedis, the former IBF Cruiserweight champion, is alongside Todd Grisham. Let's hear from him. Apologies, it is the champion we're going to hear from first, and that's Jai Patai. She's with Ali Drew.
Jai, final face-off before the fight tomorrow night. Do you take anything from that?
I'm ready to go. I've been ready for a long time.
The last fight, we saw a broken nose, we saw a jaw broken in 2 places. How grueling is tomorrow night going to be?
If I've got to break my jaw again or win, so be it. Winning is a must.
Eddie, let's bring you in. I mean, the first fight, the fans loved it. It certainly delivered. Do you think it's going to steal the show tomorrow night?
Yeah, you're going to see one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world tomorrow night in Jai Opetaya. You're also going to see the difference what 2 years has done. From becoming a champion to 2 explosive defences. This guy's the real deal. The fans are in for a treat. Jai Opetaya tomorrow night by destruction.
And you have said you don't see it going the distance. Sticking to that?
Yeah, I'm a fan. Jai will do it any means necessary. I believe he wins the fight by knockout.
Brilliant. Best of luck, Jai.
All right, I'm here with Marius Briedis. You don't need me to tell you how brutal that first encounter was. How physical do you think this rematch is going to be?
I think that it will be 100%. We saw how good shape we are, and yeah, it will be a great fight, tough, great fight.
Many people believe this is do or die for you, considering at this stage of your career. How much pressure are you feeling right now?
Right word to say, win or die.
Win or die. You broke his jaw in 2 places last time. What do you think it's going to take to slow this big man down?
We will see how strong he is mentally and physically. We saw he's very strong, and that's why we come here for till the 2 years when it's happened.
Can't wait to see it. Good luck to you. Marius Briedis, everybody.
Marius Briedis, confident, right? I mean, and he's going to be confident just because of how he was able to hurt Opetaya like no one else has done in their last fight. But it's a different Opetaya, isn't it? This guy 2 years on looks very, very special. Looks a lot better than he was against Briedis.
I think so. I just think, once you become a champion, that belief is stamped. You always think you have until you've done it. You're not quite sure. And now he has done it, and he knows what it takes to go through a grueling fight like that. I think he'll be a little bit smarter, and I think he'll try and be a bit more aggressive if that was possible. But the Briedis, I'm banking on Briedis just being a little bit over the hill. But that's a risk to take, and maybe a foolish outlook. If he's not, you're going to be in trouble.
It's been intriguing. You spoke to Marius Briedis right at the start of fight week. Very confident. I was listening to your interview. He's kind of thrown me a little bit because he's so confident. He's so confident he can do a job on Opetaya.
Yeah, I think first off, he knows how good he is and how good he's been in the past. He has lots of experience. He has that over Opetaya. He knows he can hurt Opetaya. Not so much as far as dropping him or stopping him, but physically hurting him. So he's going to take confidence away from that. And I think he really feels this is his last hurrah. He wants to go out on a win. Kind of pressures off knowing that. He's not trying to fight for these big things, that big things, or any other big shows. He just wants to sign off with a victory. And he really believes in himself.
And also, Andy, just to say, that broken jaw hasn't really been tested since then in a fight situation. So we don't know if all that holds up, do we?
It's swelled. I said at the top of the show that the fans are here. The fans are here, and there's more of them. There's more of them. They're enjoying the atmosphere. The Brits have well and truly turned up. The Fury Army is here, and they're here in their hundreds, if not thousands, and more are coming. I'm hearing more are flying out as well. I think it's going to be an incredible atmosphere on Saturday there.
So it's going to be so good. I mean, it's so good here already. To bring this into the venue tomorrow night is exactly what this show needs. It's so great, and great cards, great fights, need great support, great atmosphere. And
look at that! Look at that! I absolutely love it. By the way, Charlie Parsons is here somewhere. I have no idea where he is, but he's in there somewhere. Charlie, who are you with? Talk to us about the atmosphere down there.
I'm Charlie Parsons from the Stomping Ground, powered by Wow Hydrate. We are live on the ground in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Moments away, Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk are going to hit the scales. I've got a couple of minutes with you. I'm going to take you to some very special guests. Firstly, big up to His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh for putting on this monster event. The fans are in all the way from the United Kingdom, all the way from Ukraine. The atmosphere is incredible. We cannot wait. There's a huge buzz here. 24 hours away now from fight night. The time is ticking down. I bring in my first guest and a man I look up to very much in Mr. Frank Smith, Matchroom CEO. How excited are you? Not a main event fighter for you for this one, but nevertheless, obviously, Joe Cordina, Kakachi on the card, Myris Breedis. Talk to me though, main event, moments away, what do you think?
Buzzing for it, mate. You know, like you say, we're not involved in the main event, but to be involved in some way in an event of this spectacle, the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world, we've waited a long time, it's finally here. We're moments away from the weigh-in. They both look in tremendous shape, and it's a special night for the sport, and anything that's good for the sport is good for everyone involved. So we've got Joe Cordina as well, as you say, we've got Jaya Pataya, two special fighters up there, but the main event, we're going to see finally an undisputed champion crowned.
We're going to see him face off in just a second. Yesterday, Tyson Fury decided not to lock eyes with Oleksandr Usyk. I spoke to Lennox Lewis earlier on. He said it's because he's focused. Can we pull anything out of it as fans?
I don't know, mate. What do we know?
True.
The only people who can tell anything are the two people who are getting in the ring at the end of the day. You know, Tyson Fury's been in this position many a times, as is Oleksandr Usyk. They're the best in the world. That's what they do. You know, mind games, when it comes to it, it's going to be two of them getting in the centre of the ring and going to war.
Very quickly before I move on to Derek Chisora, if I had to push you for a prediction tomorrow night, I know you lot want Tyson Fury to win. We want to see the AJ fight. Hit me.
Yeah, look, I've got to say it's a 50-50. You've got two of the best coming together. Undisputed, that's what it's all about. There shouldn't be a clear winner in it. You know, either of them can go in there and do a job. I can't wait for it.
Frank Smith, thank you very much. We're moving on. Mr. Derek Chisora, don't leave me hanging live on camera. Thank you very much. I got worried for a second there. How are we, Geese?
I'm all right, Geese. I'm all right. We are here in the hot tea country ever. Saudi Arabia is hot. And I'm telling you right now, I am sweating as I stand here right now. If I show you my armpits right now, you'll be like, oh, that's disgusting.
Thank you very much. A little bit of TMI from you, Derek, but we don't mind. That's what we sign up for when Derek Chisora is in town. Talk to me. Oleksandr Usyk, Tyson Fury, whatever way you want to put it. The first time that the undisputed heavyweight championship has been contested since November 1999. Talk to me. What do you think?
Put it this way. When this happened, the last fight, I think Tyson was 11 years old. Yeah. Alexander was 12. My maths is right. So you can imagine the longest gap of these belts coming together. You understand? And this is one of the things we're loving about this fight, because this hasn't been done for the last 2 centuries. So, and then guess what? So for you guys at home to understand this, when the last fight on the Undisputed happened, the kingdom was not into sports so much, do you understand? And then suddenly, now they brought back, and it's just crazy. All I can say, the winner of this fight is going to be boxing.
Well, let me ask you quickly, I've still got you. You've been in the ring with both men. You gave Oleksandr Usyk one of the toughest fights of his career. You shared the ring with Tyson Fury 3 times. How'd you pick it? Does the big man from the UK do it, or does the Ukrainian do it?
Yeah, I say boxing wins. I'll be honest with you, boxing is winning, because, I mean, like, we had Ngannou versus AJ, Ngannou versus Tyson Fury, do you understand? So I'm just saying boxing wins. This is why everybody's intrigued, bro. Boxing wins.
Boxing always wins. Thank you for watching. I'm throwing it back to the studio or the face-off. I don't know, we're excited.
We are certainly excited, and understandably so. This is something very, very special. It isn't just the main event. Again, you guys have seen the undercard fighters weigh in. There's so many good fights on the undercard as well. And look who's joined us. One of my favorite heavyweights, he knows, is one of my favorites. Joseph Parker.
Mr. Saudi.
Joseph Parker, who's had an incredible 18 months. How are you, sir? How are you doing?
I'm very good.
Yeah?
I arrived in this morning, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm happy that I'm not fighting, and I just want to witness some great fights tomorrow and history unfold.
There are so many sort of good fights on it. Obviously, look, the main event is something special. You know Tyson Fury so well. You've been in that camp for so long. You know Oleksandr Usyk as well. How does either man win? I mean, who are you favoring? Take your Tyson Fury hat off here, if you can, Joseph.
Tyson Fury. Listen, it's, I said it before, I feel like it's the toughest test for Tyson. With Usyk coming in form, but also what he has, like the footwork, coming in and out, side to side angles, combinations. It's going to be a very tricky fight, but Tyson being a bigger man, longer reach and height, I feel like he has to go in there and be the big man.
Joe, we spoke a lot about tactics, and that's good insight there, but where is he mentally, do you think? He looks a little tense at the presser. He wouldn't look at Usyk. Mentally, where do you think Tyson Fury's at?
Mentally, I have been communicating with Tyson, and from what I've been getting back from him is that he's in great shape and he's confident. I think more confident than other fights.
Really?
Maybe it's the work that he's done, and he believes so much that he can win this fight.
You've sparred with Tyson, of course. What's it like to take the tempo off and take the pace? Is that achievable or impossible?
He's very tricky, Tyson. Like, you feel like you're not in range, and then boom, the jab in your face. But also, he picks his shots, and he knows when to throw them.
I have to ask you, because again, you had an incredible last couple of fights. You beat Deontay Wilder, incredible. Zhili Zhang, incredible. When am I going to see you next in the ring, big man? What's going on?
What? I will fight anyone.
I know that.
Waiting for the opportunity to come up, and whoever they say, I'll fight.
He's got itchy knuckles.
Listen, I said I didn't want to fight, but now being here.
But Joe, quickly, what you've shown is a busy fighter is a better fighter, and I think you are probably the most informed fighter in the world right now.
Probably keeping busy, always in the gym, and enjoying the journey. I love it. Obviously, the wins make it better, but I do love it.
Was you ever close to fighting Oleksandr Usyk? You know, there's so many heavyweight fights that don't happen, right? Contracts are on the table, negotiations. Was there ever, at any time, a negotiation between you and Oleksandr Usyk?
There was never. Okay. I love the opportunity to fight him, though. I feel like it's a great style.
He might be the only person you haven't shared the ring with.
Huh?
He might be the only person you haven't shared the ring with.
Yeah. I'll share the ring with anyone.
Joe, right, final prediction.
Final prediction, take off my Tyson Fury hat, put it back on, Tyson Fury. Late stoppage.
Late stoppage.
Oh, nice.
Late stoppage. Okay, a few people have been saying late stoppage. All right, it's time. It's time to see these two guys hit the scales and make weight. Well, I say make weight, make the weights they've been telling us. Usyk saying around the 220 mark, Fury around the 260 mark. We're going to find out right now. The best MC in the business, Michael Buffer, is ready to call these fighters to the scale. So let's throw it downstairs to Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Welcome to Boulevard City Music World here in Riyadh in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the official weigh-in for the main event of Ring of Fire. It's a presentation by Frank Warren for Queensberry Promotions, Bob Arum for Top Rank Boxing in conjunction with Riyadh Season, National Events Center, the General Entertainment Authority, Gold Star Promotions, K2 Promotions, and Sella. This contest we'll see tomorrow night is sanctioned by the WBA, WBC, WBO, IBF, and IBO, and on the line, the ring and lineal titles. Now for this event, ladies and gentlemen, a very special thank you to the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, His Royal Highness the Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and the chairman of the General Entertainment Authority, His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh. So now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the official weigh-in for undefeated champion versus undefeated champion. It's all at the Kingdom Arena, Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It'll be 12 rounds of boxing for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Let's bring the warriors to the stage And to the scales. First, an Olympic gold medal champion. Now, as a professional, 21 fights, 21 victories, 14 wins by knockout. He's the former undisputed and undefeated cruiserweight champion of the world. From Ukraine, the reigning, defending, undefeated WBA, WBO, IBF, IBO, heavyweight champion of the world, Oleksandr Usyk. World champion Oleksandr Usyk. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent from the United Kingdom, the two-time world champion, holder of the ring and lineal championships, and recognized as the reigning, defending, undefeated WBC heavyweight champion of the world, the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. Champion, the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. First onto the scales will be the champion from Ukraine, Oleksandr Usyk. .233 1/2 pounds for the unified champion, Oleksandr Usyk. Next, stepping onto the scales from the United Kingdom, WBC champion, lineal champion, ring champion, the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. 262 pounds for Tyson Fury. Here they are, champion versus champion, both undefeated for the undisputed.
You heard the weights there. Oleksandr Usyk, 233 pounds, Darren. He always weighs 221. He's playing the size game here. 12 pounds over his last fight, which was against Daniel Dubois.
Yeah, but he looks very good for it, Ade. No nonsense look on his face once again. Fury looking good. 262, very light, looking in great shape. We have a fight.
We certainly do. Joseph, 262 for Tyson Fury.
260.
He's light. He's light.
Light.
Yeah.
He's very light, but he looks in good shape. Like, you see the confidence. You can see how happy he is on stage. Now the face-off. There he goes.
Now he does the face-off, Darren.
That's it. He played all possum before, didn't he? Every day of the week he was not engaging with Usyk, but now we see the real Tyson Fury. And look at the response though from Usyk. He won't back down for anybody.
He won't back down.
Let's not forget their weights. That's intent on both. Usyk wants to be physically from a big physical presence, so when he does attack, he can push Fury back possibly. And Fury wants to be a bit light on his feet, not to run, just be able to spin around the target so Usyk doesn't get behind him or on the sides and attack from an angle he can't see.
There are at least 60 people on that stage, and there doesn't really need to be that many.
People on stage.
It's ridiculous how many people are on stage.
Joe, do you think Tyson regrets not looking at Usyk yesterday and wanted to really let him know, look, don't sleep on me, you're in a real fight here?
Listen, he didn't do it yesterday, but he did it today with a bit of a shove and push. And I think today is just one of those, the weigh-in days when you really size him up. I think the press conference, mind games, might be mind games.
But it's your last chance to say something, to have any sort of mental impression on your opponent is now.
Well, it's now.
I think we're going to try and hear from both fighters. It's going to be very difficult. I see Todd Grisham was with Oleksandr Usyk. I have no idea where Usyk's gone now. Tyson Fury still on stage. I have no idea where he's going. It is very frantic. We are going to see if we can get a word of both champions. Obviously, Oleksandr Usyk, the unified heavyweight champion, former undisputed at cruiserweight. Tyson Fury's ready as well. I think we're ready to hear from Tyson Fury, are we?
Guys, keep this clear, keep it, Gary, keep it. Go now, it's going to go.
Tyson, 2 face-offs this week, 2 very different face-offs. What are the tactics behind this? What are you thinking after that face-off just now?
We're ready to rock and roll, you know. Fireworks tomorrow night. I'm going to knock this little fucker spark out.
Looking to make history tomorrow night. We're going to see the first undisputed heavyweight champion of our generation, the first one in 25 years. In the past, you've said belts don't matter, defending belts don't matter. This one's got to matter, right?
I'm coming for his heart. That's what I'm coming for. Fuck his belts. I'm coming for his fucking heart. He's getting it tomorrow. Spark out! Fuck him!
Any final
Fuck
words?
all his team too. Fuck the lot of them. They can all get it if they want it too. Shithousing.
A word to your fans, Tyson.
Yeah, I figured it might go that way. Tyson Fury clearly pumped. Let's hear from Oleksandr Usyk, the unified heavyweight champion. He's with Todd Grisham.
All right, I'm here with Oleksandr Usyk, ladies and gentlemen. Things have calmed down a little bit. It got rough and tumble. What did you just say to Tyson Fury?
Don't be afraid. I will not leave you alone tomorrow.
You told everyone that your father was your inspiration growing up. If he were here right now, before the biggest fight of your life, what advice do you think your dad would give you?
Son, you can.
Well, we're 24 hours away from the biggest fight of your life. How have you managed to stay so calm before what is sure to be an unbelievable fight?
Because it's my plan. If I will be nervous, I not win.
What is your message to the fans watching you around the world, especially those in your war-torn country of the Ukraine?
My fans, I love you. See you tomorrow.
Give it up, everybody. Oleksandr Usyk.
I love that weigh-in. I absolutely loved it. That's weigh-ins for me. Nose to nose, a bit of a push and a shove. I loved it. That's how it should be, Joseph.
I think it's fair to say both guys are amped up and buzzing and ready.
I don't think we've ever seen Usyk as fired up as that.
No.
We've seen it from Fury before, but he means business. He wants the victory bad tomorrow night.
And it's also good to see Fury at last ignite. That's the Fury we know. We want him to be a bit angry. We want him to start trying to bully mentally Oleksandr Usyk before he tries to bully him physically in the ring.
Final question for you, Joseph. The weights. Fury in the 260s, Usyk 230s. What do you make of that?
They're both in great condition for this fight. Both in top shape, ready for a great performance. Both guys.
Look at this. There's Tyson Fury out. He's gone back to the hotel. He's making sure it's all business now. What would he do now? What do you guys do after weigh-in? Do you go back, get a food, massage? What do you guys do?
For me, I'll go back, play some cards, watch some movies, have a nice feed and relax.
Indeed.
Tyson will probably do the same thing, go back home and chill out with his family, friends, and just stay relaxed. I think it's the most important is to stay relaxed before the fight.
And Joe, this is where the mental preparation starts, though, isn't it? No, this is when you have to prepare yourself mentally for that battle tomorrow night.
Yeah. There's Usyk's team as well going down the purple carpet. I mean, look how spectacular that looks as well. This has really been something special, and we still have more for you tomorrow, which is incredible, right? They've got to fight. They've got to get in the ring and throw hands, and these two will throw hands for 12 rounds. I guarantee it. Anyway, look, that is the undisputed heavyweight title fight. That's tomorrow. Stick with us because DAZN has so much more for you.
Fight fans, welcome back. Boxing is buzzing and the best are ready to bump heads. Showcasing over 150 fights a year, DAZN is the only place to watch these warriors worldwide every weekend. Size matters as two big men create one huge occasion. An undisputed king will emerge on May 18th when Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk finally trade heavyweight leather. If you come for the king, you better not miss. A 5 versus 5 battle for bragging rights. Frank and Eddie send forth their stables to settle old scores. Few would settle the score with Sabriel Matias. June 15th, undefeated Lehman Perro marches forward to take on boxing's bona fide beast. June 29th, Phoenix will rise for two men with their eyes on the prize as Bam Rodriguez and Juan Francisco Estrada show that size actually doesn't matter at all. Explosive contests, multiple champions, just one place to catch every punch.
Not like cumbersomely, but
we're all here. We're all talking about the weight off camera here. Everyone's intrigued. Boulevard City looking fantastic, as it has been throughout fight week. Eddie Hearn has joined us in studio as well. Eddie, weights, let's talk about it. You were surprised with Usyk coming in at 233, good or bad?
I think it tells you the story of the fight. I think Usyk is going to box off the front foot. I think regardless of the size difference, I think he's going to try and bully Tyson Fury. You know, you heard him say there, I will not leave you alone. I think Fury's going to box off the back foot. He's coming in light. He's going to try and move. And I think Usyk's going to be on him. I think he's going to be, you know, punches in bunches, using his angles. I think he's going to attempt to terrorise Tyson Fury tomorrow night. Now, whether that's even possible, I have no idea. But I was like a fan up there. I weaseled my way on the stage just so I could see it because I wanted to see it up close. And it's the first time I've ever seen Oleksandr Usyk show any kind of emotion. I mean, the teeth were gritted. And he was fired up. And I'll tell you, I can't wait for tomorrow. What an atmosphere here, by the way, as well. Unbelievable.
Eddie Hearn sneaking on stage.
I was. Competition winner.
I can't believe it, right? It's almost like cut the cornflakes out, you're back there. Eddie, you've done shows in Vegas, big ones. Canelo, you've done shows in the UK, Wembley Stadium, AJ. How does this weighing compare to those?
You have to understand that when you come to a new territory, a new market, things take time. You know, it takes time to become a destination for boxing. The people from the area and from the Middle East take time to understand the sport, to learn the sport. It's growing on the ground here, but now you've got, I don't know, what, 4, 5, 6,000 Brits that have travelled over from the UK, from Dubai. Like, this is an unbelievable atmosphere. That felt like Las Vegas down there tonight. And tomorrow night, you're going to get a special, special fight, a special night. You know, and it just doesn't stop coming. Obviously, you've got Catchall Taylor next week. Then we're back out here for the 5v5. But look, history in the making tomorrow night. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people, His Excellency probably watching that atmosphere there saying, it's coming, it's coming, and it's going to take time. But the speed in which it's building out here is incredible, and you'll see the atmosphere tomorrow night will be very different.
Eddie, I'll pay a penny for the thought of AJ. He's here. Yeah. What does he make of all of this, and who does he think is going to win?
Secretly sad, probably, because we chased it for so long, and it will come. His shot undisputed will come. But for now, I like the way he doesn't really want to come down and get involved because it's their time. It's nothing to do with Anthony Joshua. Hopefully he gets his shot for the undisputed championship, but this is Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk's night. On paper right now, they're number 1 and number 2 in the heavyweight division. They've earned the right to battle for all the belts. So we enjoy that. After that, I'm sure he'll answer questions, but you're never going to see him jumping over gates, trying to call people out or asking the media to talk to him and do interviews. He's in the gym at the moment. He wants the winner. But of course, like all of us, he'll be watching like a hawk tomorrow night.
Let's see the face-off again, Eddie. I want your thoughts on it. Again, we've never seen this from Oleksandr Usyk. Obviously, Fury, the instigator here. But normally, look at Usyk's ready to go there. We don't see that. This is a surprise to see this from Usyk. But I like the fact he's not backing down.
Yeah, I mean, actually, he didn't lose his rag as much as I thought he did.
No, he didn't.
But I much prefer my story, to be honest. I thought it was much better. But it's unlike me.
And it shows where your courage was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But look, I mean, I think both of them. I mean, Fury looks in great shape. He looks very well. He looks very healthy. You know what you're going to get for Usyk. Listen, what is he, 12 pound heavier than the Dubois fight? I think interesting, if you look back on Usyk's weight as a heavyweight, especially over the last 3 fights, I think every one has been 221 pounds. The 2 fights against AJ and the Dubois fight. So coming in 12 pound heavier, in my opinion, has to be a risk because you're not used to fighting at that weight. I don't think he's going to tire. Is he going to have the same kind of intensity and output as before? Probably, but it's new to him.
But he's had, with the postponement, maybe time to train with that weight, see how it feels on him.
Will he be stronger? Will he punch harder?
Well, you said that shows an intent to bully Fury.
I think so.
I sort of agree with you because the safest place for the guy who's long is inside that reach. That's where we need to be. But Fury's still a big guy with fast feet, so he's got to be more than just a bully there. He's still got to keep that mobility that's made in the Usyk that we know.
I think that they both need to adapt during the fight, and Usyk does that very well. I wouldn't be surprised if Usyk built up a lead early in the fight, and Tyson has to adapt, change, maybe become more aggressive. Who knows, is the cut going to open up? Yeah. Make him chase the fight a little bit harder. If you're chasing the fight against Oleksandr Usyk, it's never an easy thing to do. You saw AJ fall behind, you start chasing the fight, you're getting pinged, he's moving in and out. I mean, look, we could talk about it for hours. I have no idea.
Could you see a finish in this fight? Could you see a stoppage or KO? We were talking to Alex Krasiak the other day, wasn't we, Barry? They're convinced.
I know.
But around round 10, they're convinced that they stopped
both camps. I've been around both camps in the hotel, with Frank and George, and both camps truly believe they win the fight by stoppage. Honestly, I don't see it personally. I know that you talk about Usyk's weak to the body. You got look, AJ hit him to the body. You saw one moment where he kind of turned away from a low blow, but I don't know if Fury's going to be the most prolific body puncher in the world. And
he hasn't been.
No, and I don't know if Usyk punches hard enough to stop Tyson Fury, unless, the Ngannou knockdown, maybe his chin's not what it was, but Fury's got a good chin. I can't see Oleksandr Usyk stopping Tyson Fury, and I'm not sure I can the other way around. I think this fight goes 12 rounds.
Well, Usyk pressurise you and tries to tire you out, then fatigue sets in, then he gets the stoppage. But I can't see that either, because one thing Fury does have is a good engine, and he knows how to manage rounds quite well.
He does, but when you look back at the Joshua fight, in the second fight, you look at rounds 10, 11, 12. What he did in those rounds, Usyk, was incredible. He looked hurt in the 9th. We were all going mad, and he just came out like a train. And it's the volume of punches. I just feel that if Fury's boxing off the back foot, flicking out the jab, pot-shotting and holding, he's got to compete with the volume of Usyk in terms of the judges' scorecards, because he throws so many punches. And that's going to be a problem for Tyson Fury, and that's why he might have to switch this fight up after a few rounds.
Eddie, it'd be wrong of me to get you up here without talking about your fighters, Joe Opetaia, Joe Cordina. Big opportunities for them. Joe to continue his dominance in retaining in his IBF belt, and obviously Opetaia trying to get that IBF belt back.
You know what, actually 2 brilliant fights. Kakachi's a tough fight for anybody. This delay is actually a blessing for Joe Cordina, because that turnaround to the February date was really short, and he was training in LA with Connor and the team. His weight, we know that 130 is a struggle for Joe. He's been out here for 3 weeks. he's in the shape of his life, Joe. I think you'll get a blistering performance and a big statement from him. Jai Opetaia scares the absolute life out of me.
I'm Darren.
No, I'd like to be his friend. I think he's got absolutely no interest in even talking to me. He just grunts. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, all right, Joe. You know, and he's looking in Maris Brady's eyes. Don't forget that a lot of people watching this won't realise fight 1 was incredible. You know, it's a Fight of the Year contender. Bradis broke Jai Opetaia's jaw in 2 places, and I think you'll see the difference between a 26-year-old and a 28-year-old from Opetaia tomorrow night, and also Brady's getting older, and just the difference in terms of how Jai has grown as a fighter, the belief. You know, the 2 last performances have been sensational. This is another level in Bradis. He says this is his last fight, win, lose or draw, Bradis. Is that good or bad? If it gets tough, do you duck out, or do you say, I'm giving it everything as my last roll of the dice? Bradis is a tough man, by the way, and I think he'll give it everything. I think Opetaia will stop him, and I think Caldina will win by late stoppage as well.
Eddie, thank you very much. Usyk Fury, 1 word. Who wins?
I mean...
One.
Right, Tyson Fury on points. We've got to go for the Brit.
Tyson Fury on points, up the Brits. That's what we're doing here. All right, make sure you stick with us on DAZN, because the first half of the year has been incredible. The second half of the year, very, very good.
Hey, champ. I know why you're here. You're a born winner, the top dog. You have a proper punch on you. It only takes one, eh? But I know you're not all about throwing haymakers. You know your bobs from your weaves, and you know DAZN's got over 150 fights every year. Over 150. Proper stat. All the action, the chaos, the comebacks, the non-stop knockouts. Big fights every week. So get those gloves back on. Together, we're boxing royalty. DAZN, undisputed.
There's another member of our team that really should be here, but he's not. He's a busy man. He's staying at home in New York, and that guy is Ariel Helwani. Ariel, I know you've been watching from afar. What have you made of all this, especially the weigh-ins?
Oh my God, Ade, I miss you guys so much. I'm gutted that I'm not there. Honestly, I have major FOMO right now. What a scene, and I noted on Twitter, it feels considerably bigger, greater, more electric, more energy than the scene we took part in back in March for Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou. This feels like a proper mega event. And I do have some insight, Ade, into Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury, as we're talking about here, and you guys have been doing such a great job all week talking about his physique, he is considerably lighter. So I actually reached out to a nutritionist who has been working with him for the past 4 years, famed combat sports nutritionist who's been in the corner of Joseph Parker as of late as well, George Lockhart. He's worked with Conor McGregor and others. He started working with Tyson Fury since 2020, and I asked him, okay, what's the secret? Why is he so much lighter? Why is he so much more svelte this time around? George told me that he stopped working with Tyson Fury as of just a couple months ago after the cut. This kind of blew my mind, so then I did some digging into things, and I found out that Tyson rehired Greg Marriott, who was the nutritionist who got him out of his dark period. 2015, 2018, he didn't fight. 2018, he lost all the weight and went on that great run. He rehired that nutritionist. So if you're a Tyson Fury fan, you're saying, okay, maybe we're going back to the guy that started this run post the break, post the Klitschko fight, and maybe considering how he looked against Francis Ngannou back in October, this is a good sign that we're going to see the old Tyson Fury back and not the Tyson Fury who's waking up in silk pajamas.
Yeah, and that's the Tyson Fury that obviously beat Deontay Wilder, I think, the first time, and obviously convincingly beat him the second time, so Fury fans will be happy with that. What have you made of Usyk? Obviously, look, he comes in around the 220 mark all the time. Now 233 pounds, 12 pounds heavier than Daniel Dubois. Good or bad, do you think?
A little bit surprised. I thought he should just stick to his natural weight, stick with what got you here. His speed, his movement, that's going to be, in my opinion, a factor in his favor. You know, we're talking about 10 pounds, and there's still, a large gap between the two of them. So I still factor his speed and his movement to be in his favor going into this fight. But he has been switched on. He has been focused. He has been Oleksandr Usyk all week long. I think it's interesting that all week Tyson has been, sort of not willing to engage in the trash talk and the insults, not, there to participate in all the hoopla and all that. But just moments ago, speaking to Ali, I thought that was the old Tyson coming back. That's the Tyson that we want to see, the one who's fired up, the one who's throwing the insults, the one who feels like he needs to really get under his opponent's skin. So if I'm a Tyson Fury fan, I like everything that I'm seeing out of him here. There's not much to read into Oleksandr Usyk. He is who he is. He's been the same way since we were introduced to him all those years ago.
I'm always very intrigued to see how Americans Americans react when non-Americans are in the main event? Obviously, this is a European fight, isn't it? Tyson Fury from the UK, Oleksandr Usyk from Ukraine. What's it been like in America? Are they getting behind this one?
Now, first of all, I just want to note I am Canadian and American, okay? So please don't take that away from me.
He's got his
you
citizenship now.
Still brand me as an American. But in my heart, it will always be the red and white. This feels like a big deal. There are billboards everywhere. Everyone's talking about it. I don't need to go through, the history, 1999, undisputed, four-belt era. You guys have done a phenomenal job of doing that. And by the way, thank you to Darren and Barry for saying how much they miss me. They've been texting me. Diva Oladipo apparently running wild all over Riyadh, but I can't do nothing about that over here. I'm stuck in New York. I have nothing to do with that, guys. I feel for you. Commiserations. I feel for you guys, and I hope that you can stick it out another 24 hours. But it's been a great scene, and everyone back here is very excited about it. It's rare that some of these fights, cross over and transcend, but this one is doing it, and you guys are doing a phenomenal job of covering it. And I wish I could be there. Really, I really do. It's actually very hard for me to watch all this because, like I said, I have major FOMO. And for the old people out there, you in particular, FOMO is fear of missing out.
Oh,
I know
okay.
Barry and Darren knew that, but
I don't
fear
know all
of
this
missing out.
new lingo these young kids are using nowadays. Barry and Darren have gone Tyson Fury to get the job done. Are you a fence sitter? Are you able to give predictions? Do you give predictions? What are you going to do? You're going to swerve the question, Ariel, like you do big questions? What are you going to do?
No, stop projecting at it. You're the one who never gives predictions. Us analysts in the game, we give predictions. And yes, I am going with Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King. I can't go against him. I love the new form. I love the new physique. I like the fact that he's turning back the clock a little bit. I was a little bit worried about the demeanor. It seemed like he was a little bit too on edge. He was talking about walking his dog on the Monday. It was almost like he wanted to escape all the pressure, escape everything that's going on in Riyadh. No more. I feel like he's locked in. I feel like we see vintage Tyson Fury. And let's be honest, in my opinion, there is way more pressure on Tyson Fury's shoulders than Oleksandr Usyk's shoulders. Usyk has done a lot up until this point. The gold medal, the cruiserweight run, and now the run at heavyweight. Tyson needs to remind people who he is, that he is the man. That performance against Francis Ngannou was awful, and it has aged really poorly considering how Francis looked against Anthony Joshua. If Tyson Fury wants to be considered the greatest heavyweight of this generation, he needs to beat Oleksandr Usyk, he needs to beat Anthony Joshua. If he doesn't beat Usyk, he maybe doesn't get to Joshua, and now there's a lot of talk about his legacy in the aftermath.
Ariel, great to speak to you. I'm sad you're not here, but it's great to kind of share a couple of moments with you. Next time, Next time, make sure you turn up. Just make sure you turn up next time, okay? There's been so many fantastic pieces done in the lead up to this fight. Watch this. This is fantastic. This is Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk. A little snippet of an amazing documentary.
The moment the world has been waiting for.
All four belts are on the line.
Fireworks. 25 years since the last undisputed champion.
I understand what it's like moving up. You will never get back.
I could see in his eyes that he wanted it.
Oleksandr Usyk's a bad mother.
Best fight ever faced.
Only person standing in front of him now is me. Then he will have battered his way through Griffin, and we can't be having that.
Ring of fire.
What a fantastic shot. Incredible, isn't it? Boulevard City looking absolutely incredible. Let's remind you of what you can expect tomorrow. We kick things off in the featherweight division. Isaac Lowe takes on Hasbulla Mardi. We then move to the light heavyweight division. A huge prospect in Daniel Lapin takes on Portugal's Octavia Pudovita. Then we go to the main card. David Nyika versus Michael Seats. Two unbeaten guys in the cruiserweight division. We stick in the cruiserweight division. Former light heavyweight king Sergey Kovalev takes on the unbeaten Robin Serwin Safar. Mark Chamberlain takes on Joshua Hub for the vacant WBC Silver Lightweight Championship. Then the heavyweight, the big boys, Moses Atalma takes on Ilya Mazenchev for the vacant WBO Intercontinental Heavyweight title. And then the real big boys, Frank Sanchez versus Agit Kaviel. Two unbeaten fighters fight for a final eliminator for the WBC Silver title. Joe Cordina versus Anthony Kakache. A unification fight, IBF and IBO Super Featherweight straps up for grabs. Jar Pataya versus Marius Bradis, a rematch of 2 years ago. They fight once again for the vacant IBF World Cruiserweight title. And then the one we've been waiting for 18 months, or some might say 25 years. The undisputed heavyweight title fight between Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk. Look who has joined us after a 15-hour ordeal to get here. 15-hour flight. Chris Mannix is with us. Chris, great to have you with us in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. What have you made of that, Chris? You've covered all the big fights. MSG, Las Vegas, London. What do you make of that weigh-in?
Incredible spectacle on that stage. There's no doubt about it. And I got to say this, Usyk's a tank. Like, Oleksandr Usyk is an absolute tank. That is a man that is, what, 13.5 pounds heavier than what he was for his last fight. Look, I'm impressed that Tyson Fury came in, what, 15 or 16 pounds below what he weighed for his last fight. I think that's exactly what he had to do. But Usyk looked like a middle linebacker out there. He looked like a football player out there, an American football player, to be clear.
Not a soccer player.
Not a soccer player, an American football player. And look, I'm reminded, guys, of something Brian McIntyre said to me years ago. When Terrence Crawford made his move up to 147, and people were talking about Crawford against Errol Spence. One thing Bomac said was, you better get Terrence Crawford now. You better get him now before he grows into the welterweight division. That man up there in Oleksandr Usyk just grew into the heavyweight division overnight. 233, not an ounce of fat on that body. That man is a beast.
We've spoke weight tactics quite a lot this week, as you can imagine, but Ariel made a very good point just then. Talking about
Ariel made a good point, did you say?
Yeah, a really good point with regards to pressure and the pressure being on Tyson Fury. Do you believe that's true?
I think there's pressure on both guys. I mean, how many cracks at the Undisputed Heavyweight Championship are you going to get? I guess you could lean towards more pressure being on Fury, because there's probably still a crazy group of people that believe that he backed out of that last fight on purpose, that he wasn't ready, that he's no longer the fighter that he used to be, that the Francis Ngannou fight took something out of him. But look, Tyson Fury has been beating back skeptics his entire career. Like, he beat back the skeptics that said, you can't beat Vladimir Klitschko, you're not in his class. He outpoints Vladimir Klitschko. He beats back the skeptics that say, oh, you're too fat, 400 pounds, you'll never make it back. He makes it all the way back. The people that said he was crazy to get in the ring with Deontay Wilder after fighting like Sefer Seferi and somebody else, when he made his comeback, he did it and beat back the skeptics. Discounting Tyson Fury is a dangerous thing to do, and I'm sure he's used to dealing with that type of pressure. I just think the man in front of him might be an all-time great. Not an all-time great heavyweight, not putting him in that box right now.
What if he wins, though?
If Fury wins?
If Usyk wins, where would you rank
I still don't put him on the all-time great heavyweight because he's been a heavyweight for 6 fights. Like, I think you've got to have a deeper resume. I do think he climbs the list of the all-time great fighters because nobody will be able to say they were an undisputed champion at cruiserweight and heavyweight in this 4-belt era.
I can tell Chris has just been wanting to get this mic. He's been wanting to talk.
When do I not?
He's been on that flight thinking, when I land, I've got so much to say. Fury, what do you think of his body shape? 260 plus pounds, 277 against Francis Ngannou. He's clearly in shape. He's never going to be an Adonis like a Wilder or AJ on the scales, but this is as good as he can get. This is good Fury for me.
Unquestionably, coming in this light, the lightest he's been since 2019. He looks as good as he's possibly going to be. Look, he's never going to be, as you said, that chiseled type physique, but dropping down into those low 260s is going to make him a fresher fighter going into this fight. He did exactly what he needed to do in terms of preparation. I actually think, guys, that the extra 3 months probably helped Tyson Fury. He had to take a little bit of a break after that loss to Ngannou, or the close win against Francis Ngannou. Getting those extra 3 months to work, even though it wasn't his preference, I think that probably helped his physique and his conditioning coming into this fight.
Were you happy seeing Tyson do a bit of the pushing? Because I feel like he thrives in chaos. Was that a better Tyson Fury than what we've seen all week?
What we've seen all week, yes. I mean, we've seen versions of that, in previous fights. He mixed it up a little bit with Deontay Wilder. He's always kind of that, brash, outspoken guy who wants to make a scene in a fight. I thought it was more notable, frankly, that Usyk responded to it. Like, Usyk, we're not used to having any response. You go back to the aftermath of when Tyson beat Derek Chisora, and he called Usyk up to the ring apron, and Usyk's just standing there while Tyson's yelling in his face, saying nothing. Usyk is the definition of unflappable. You cannot, get under this guy's skin. In that moment, Tyson Fury got under Oleksandr Usyk's skin. We'll see if it means anything come tomorrow night, but that was certainly a mental warfare tactic.
All right, guys, this is it. We've all been waiting for this as boxing fans, as 2 former world champions as well. We've been waiting for Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk for the best part of 18 months, just because they have been number 1 and number 2, and they've been circling each other. Finally, the 2 sharks come head to head, and it happens tomorrow. Fight week has been incredible. The build-up has been incredible. Fight night is going to be even better. Make sure you tune in, scan the QR code. You just can't miss this. You can't. The whole team is going to be assembled. Lennox Lewis will join us, Joseph Parker will join us, and Kate Abdo will lead the show. It's going to be a good one. I can't wait for it. I know you guys can't wait for it. Make sure you tune in tomorrow to DAZN for something very, very special.
A tale as old as time. A legendary champion in search of another champion has found his match. Facing each other under the watchful eye of history.
Let's get ready to rumble! And
It is time to fight!
Boxing on DAZN, sponsored by William Hill.
Rated T for Teen.
Oh my word, what a shot! Incredible action! What an atmosphere it is! Refusing to lose, refusing to give up. Been floored by the headshot.
We got two suspects, Lowry and Burnett.
We are being framed.
You set the damn van on fire!
Relax, the fire's on the outside. Now it's on the inside.
What the hell are you doing?
I fight crime, mate.
Y'all are some terrible fugitives.
Bad Boys Ride or Die.
Call 911.
Aren't you the police?
Exclusively in cinemas.
Boxing on DAZN, sponsored by William Hill.